Masala Radio.
I hope all you guys are feeling good, and you should. It is our Independence Day. Want to wish you all a very happy Independence Day and a very happy Raksha Bandhan. And what wonderful feeling. Everybody is just on India high right now. So it is Independence Day, and Sir Narendra Modi, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी सर ह्यूस्टन में आ रहे हैं. It is simply historic. It is absolutely historic. It is the timing of this event, the fact that it's happening in Houston and at the Energy Arena, at the Energy Stadium, where Texans play, where J.J. Watt plays, in that big stadium. It's mind-blowing. But you know, it wouldn't have happened. It's a wishful, what a wonderful thing to have happen here. And wishful thinking, yes, I'd love to have an Indo-American summit here in Houston. But it is the Texas India Forum that made it happen. The Texas India Forum, ladies and gentlemen, made it happen. And there are a lot of people in the Texas India Forum. A lot of people that I know. I always talk about two names that really, everybody's coming together. But Mr. Jugal Malani, the chief convener, and Mr. Rishi Bhutada. Now, Rishi, I tell you, very interesting man, young man. He's a lot younger than me, and he's a second generation Indian living here in Houston who's getting involved in our culture, in our community. Not just now getting involved, he's been involved, and it's really good to see. I've got a son, Sahil, and I would love for him to be like Rishi. Maybe in a few years, when he grows up a little bit more, he'll be like him. He makes me proud. I say young man, and you know, he's so much younger than me. Really, he's like a kid. I've known him for a long time, and now he's an entrepreneur. He is doing a lot of things for the community. He also supports our Holi and our Diwali. You know, you don't really see Rishi Bhutada on the logo or the Bhutada family, but they support our events, they support our culture, they support our community, our religion, everything India. In this Texas India Forum, big hand to Mr. Rishi Bhutada, who's on the phone with me right now. Good afternoon, Rishi. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Happy Independence Day to you.
Happy Independence Day to you as well.
Man, before I get into the 22nd of September, I really want to commend you, and maybe it is really your parents, to bring you up with this culture and the sense of culture, sense of community, and you know, here you are. I'm not sure if you were born here or born in India, but you have retained this sense of India pride. It came naturally to you, or was it because of your parents?
I would say it came from my parents. You know, being born here, you don't have that organic connection to India. It has to come through either your parents, your family, frequent visits to India, so on. My parents made sure I had that. So really, the credit goes to them.
So a lot of kids here, everybody kind of grows up. You know, Indian kids, they grow up sort of Indian, but they are, but the way you are representing the community and getting involved and doing things and being there. I see you every Janmashtami that we used to have. I would see you there, present, active, involved. So a lot of parents would want their kids to grow up like that. And so how is it different for you personally?
I mean, I think my parents, they didn't force it on me. That was the one thing. They figured out what activities I was interested in and steered me in that direction, and let me find my own way into getting involved. I think that was helpful, as opposed to like pushing it down my throat or something like that. Because then I think I might have rebelled against it. So.
And getting involved in such a big way. What a historic event this is going to be. September 22nd, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Houston. So I don't know what to call it. Would you call it a summit? Would you call it a a conference? Would you call it a talk? How would you describe this event?
It's a community summit. That's the exact term we use. It's a community summit in honor of the Prime Minister. We'll have a cultural program, and then we'll have his address afterwards. So
Rishi Bhutada is one of the main. Everybody is together. He always says, "It's our team. It's our team." But somebody's got to lead the team. And Mr. Jugal Marani, chief convener, and you're up there. You are one of the main reasons why this event is happening in Houston. So how did Houston happen? Because I hear about somebody was just here a few minutes ago, and everybody comes to meet me anywhere I go, any business meeting I have, cultural event, any party I go to. Somehow, Sunil, this 22nd, it just comes up. How did Houston happen?
So I would say Houston happened because one, we made when we got together and invited the Prime Minister, we talked about how we are a diverse community but also unified and in our support for India, and I think that resonated quite a bit. I think that also that sometimes that we were able to make a convincing case that we're the energy capital of the world. We're a leader in space. We're a leader in medicine, and we all those things matter in terms of showing. And we're, as a community, we're involved in all those industries, and so I think all of that really mattered in the appeal of having the Prime Minister come here and talk to our.
The community, the community at large, the
community at large,
and it's not just the Houston community. I've got a friend of mine that went to college with me and then became a big industrialist when he went back to India. I've got a friend who is now a big business guy in India, and he says, I would never get an opportunity like this in India, where he is speaking somewhere and it's organized and people can get a free ticket. You can actually go see your Prime Minister give a speech and talk to people. He's coming here from India. He's registered online. He's coming here from India. 3 days he's coming here. And this opportunity, something like this doesn't even happen in India. It's crazy that it's happening here in Houston.
Yeah, I mean that's an amazing commitment on your friend's part to come all the way here.
Yeah, I mean, it's people that want to see, people that are like me. I'm a big Modi bhakt. Throughout the election process, and even for 4 years, even when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, I loved him. I've been talking about Modi sir on the radio, and it's I'm just so I get goosebumps when I think about being at the stadium. And just being there. So give me an idea of what's going to happen on the 22nd morning. Just give me a timeline of this event.
So the doors are going to open at 7:30 a.m. We're encouraging people to come early. The security lines are going to be pretty big. It's a high security event. We do want people to come early to make sure they get through the security in a timely manner. The program itself will start at 10, but in between 7:30 and 10, we'll have some activities in the outdoor plaza area and the stadium concourse for people to do and watch and see. Then at 10 a.m., we'll have the program. It will be a cultural program that focuses on the Indian American experience and shows our contributions to the broader American community. And then after that, we will have the Prime Minister's address.
And the Prime Minister will, when will he start speaking? How long will he talk for? And is he going to address in Hindi? Or is it going to be in English? Will there be any translation or any transcribing on the screen?
So, to answer your last question first, he will speak in Hindi, but we will have simultaneous English translation available. We are going to make it available via your smartphone, and there's free Wi-Fi in the stadium, so you should be able to connect and we'll have more information about how it's going to be delivered, but everyone will be able to listen to it through their smartphone. So in case you don't understand Hindi like me, I don't understand it that well, you bring headphones with you, connect it to your phone, you'll be able to listen to the translation live.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey Rishi, it's Chandani.
Chandani is in the studio with me, and she has a question.
I do have a question. So I've been hearing this on the radio a lot, that capacity or max capacity is 50,000. How many people have registered so far, and what's going to happen after you hit the 50,000 mark?
So capacity is actually 52,000. Our goal is 50,000 or so. But right now we're at, as of last night, I was told the number is 44,000 registered.
We're at 44,000 already? That is incredible.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
44,000 people.
Yeah.
Would that be easily the largest gathering, the largest Indo-American South Asian gathering in Texas? If not,
yes.
If not in the U.S.
Yes, in Texas for sure. Absolutely.
Because I know a few years ago he did come to New York, and they didn't quite have. I think it was a stadium that could fit 20,000 people. A few years ago, it was.
Right. It was Madison Square Garden. It fits 20,000 people, and then that was 2014. And then 2015, they had it at the SAP Center in San Jose, California. That was also about 20,000 people.
So we hit 44. Okay, so what happens? Chandani has a valid question. What happens when we hit 50 or 52?
I mean, once we hit whatever we determine the capacity to be, and that's dependent on the stage configuration and so on, what we'll do is we'll probably we'll allow for some people to register, and we'll put them on the wait list because we expect some people to drop out, so on. And as that happens, we'll be able to confirm that they'll be able to attend. So just because we hit capacity, I would not automatically assume you're not able to get in. There will definitely be people that will have to that suddenly realize they're not able to make it, or someone registered their kids because they didn't think they would be able to get babysitting, and now they got babysitting, so they're gonna have the kids stay at home, and and that frees up 1 or 2 seats or something like that. So
also, I do know some people that have registered multiple codes, and I'm like, why'd you do that? You know, you had a code here and a code there, and they're like, oh, I just want to make sure. I just had 2 codes. Somebody sent me 2. I'm a part of this temple, and I'm also part of this Samaj, and so there could be some dual registration, same person registering twice. So you answered the last question about the speaking in Hindi, and there's going to be you will see the English translation on the screens, and you said something about your smartphones. How do we listen to the speech on the phone?
So I don't have the exact detail yet on whether it will be an app or a link you'll be able to scan at the stadium or so on, but it's a service that we've used previously, where the translation comes through comes streamed through your smartphone, and you can just listen to it on headphones, and it'll be completely simultaneous.
I had another question, actually. So I've been hearing a lot about some buses that are, I guess, going to help to transport people.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of buses.
So like it's a shuttle service, I guess. So I mean, how is that going to work? Is there like a pickup point that everybody has to meet at, or? And
where are the pickup points?
Yeah, where are the pickup points?
So that's all being worked out right now on whether on what the pickup points will be, and exactly how many buses will be at each pickup point and so on. We should be able to announce that in a few days so that way everyone can know and plan ahead of time if they would like to utilize the bus service to come to the stadium as opposed to driving there themselves.
And I would assume that if they wanted to take any of the buses, they'd have to go a little bit earlier because they would have to pick everybody up and make multiple trips before the event starts, right?
Yeah. So the bus if you're planning on taking the bus, then you would have to assume that you need to get to the bus pickup point between I would say before 7:45 at the latest.
Is there and also I've been getting a lot of random questions and I don't have answers to, so I just figured I've got one of the main one of the main men on the air behind the Texas India Forum. But tell me, Rishi, just a brief on the Texas India Forum. Was it formed just for this event, or is it a non-profit organization that was already in place? What is the Texas India Forum?
It was created as for this event. It's a 501c3 nonprofit, and it was created for this event. We may continue onwards after this event with proceeding with kind of doing other things to talk about the Texas and India relationship. But right now our focus is Howdy Modi. So.
Howdy Modi, the website. So after a certain cutoff, after a certain point, there is no codes and people can just sign up and register online. What day, when does that happen?
That's all right. That's happening right now, and that it will continue to at least August 20th. So anyone can register right now for passes to attend the event.
And the website is Howdy Modi.
Yes, howdymodi.org.
Yeah, .org. howdymodi.org. Is the Prime Minister going to be staying here for a day? If he is, are you allowed to tell me where?
I'm not allowed.
Probably not on the radio.
I mean, I would love to have some flags and be out there, people out there,
Yeah,
just
you
kinda
and a
outside.
million other people.
Me, yeah. So you're not allowed to tell us where.
No, that definitely I would think.
That's suicide. Don't do
Because if
that.
anybody knows, Rishi Bhutada knows that.
Yeah.
Rishi Bhutada knows where he's staying. Where he's staying. Okay, so that's out of the question. I can answer that. I don't even know. Rishi knows, but he's not allowed to say. How much is the Indian government involved in his trip? Is there? Can I be one of the people to lift his bags at the airport when he arrives?
No, unfortunately not. The Indian government obviously is involved in arranging his travel and so on. All that the Texas India Forum is doing is putting on this event, basically, and making sure and inviting elected officials to come see him and organizing the whole thing.
Wow. Are there any... I'm just curious... is there any dietary kind of specifications that you got from the Indian government for Sir Modi, that he would like to have a specific meal and this is kind of what he would like? I'm just curious.
I have absolutely no idea about that one.
Okay. So you being at the center of this whole thing, and the timeliness of his arrival is just immense. I mean, it is intense. It's immense. People coming here. Just got a call from somebody who's here from the UK, and he said he is registered. He's coming. People are coming from all over USA. Do we have any idea from your registrations how many are Houston? How many from Texas? How many from outside? Can you share some details?
I don't have an updated count, but I do know that while, of course, the majority of the people are from Houston, of course, we have a good number of people coming from outside of Houston, and even a good number of people coming from outside of Texas. So I would say there's a broad-based appeal across the United States for this event, and I've got messages from people saying, "Oh, we're coming from Boston. Oh, we're coming from California." So it definitely, we've got people coming from both coasts and beyond.
How many requests have you had for pictures with Mr. Modi?
I've gotten a couple, and I've said, "Well, that's not my department."
That's his way of asking for a picture. If you didn't get that.
And I'm going to tell him the same answer I'm telling everyone else. That's not my department. I can't help you.
Mr. Modi is not just a prime minister; he is an Indian superstar. I mean, this man is a superstar. Everybody, everywhere. I've got some people from the agencies. Non-Indian people that I work with, for commercials about, for different mainstream products and supplies and businesses. Everybody seems to know about this. The media is going to be crazy. What about security? Is that also being handled by the Indian government?
So security is actually a combination of the Special Protection Group and the Secret Service. They will have, obviously the Secret Service is primarily responsible for protecting heads of state when they visit the U.S. So they will dictate the security requirements, and for those attending, you should expect to bring an ID, bring your pass, expect to go through a security procedure. I don't have the exact details on what that would be, but you should expect a decent amount of security to be able to get into the stadium.
I also hear, it might just be a rumor, but I hear that you also got a call from Trump saying, Rishi, I'd love a ticket to your Howdy Modi event. Believe me and Melania would love to come. Is that true?
I have no information on any such interest by the president to attend this event, so I can't say that.
He seems to think he's a good friend of Modi. He seems to say, Mr. Modi, I had a talk with Mr. Modi a few weeks ago. So a lot of interest from the mainstream. Just everybody is really excited about this coming weekend. September 22nd weekend, the Texas India Forum. Would you like to tell us who some of the key people are in the forum? I always keep saying Mr. Jugal Malani, the main convener, Rishi Bhutada, so involved in this. Who are some of the people that sort of help make this possible?
So, I would say there's a few people. Ramesh Shah is definitely one of them. And I don't want to go through the exhaustive list right now, but Ramesh Shah is one. Now you're making me call the list off the top of my head.
No worries. Listen, every time I talk to you or Jugalji, and the word, I keep hearing these are just these are all India, people that have India pride, and we're not doing it for us. We're just really doing it for. Hey, that's a good question. What's your? I'm sure you're thrilled. What is your thrill? Is your thrill that we want to give Mr. Modi a big welcome here? We want to make him feel we love him and want to show our love, or you want the people to hear Mr. Modi? What is your excitement in all of this?
My excitement is it's not just about the Prime Minister, but it's about our community. It's showing our community, it's showing our community coming together, unified together. And yes, we're there to hear the Prime Minister speech, but we're also showing that we're committed in unified community that cares about where we come from, and so I think that that's a important message to state in this day and time, especially to the powers that be. And I think that is that's what I'm excited about. That we are showcasing our community on a big, broad stage, and that I think is something that people will sit up and take notice.
Any refreshments will be available to purchase at the stadium, or specifically any chai ki stall? Mr. Modi came from the background of from the tea business. Will that be available to buy, purchase?
So concessions will be open at the stadium. That we are working on providing not just your normal football stadium concessions, but also Indian food concessions as well.
Really? We're gonna have some Indian food, Indian snacks.
I can't confirm that yet.
Okay.
But we're working on it.
All right, very good. The stadium and what they allow.
Yeah, stadium has, and they've got subcontracts for food and all. This is such a massive event, and the one takeaway I got today. Well, a lot of takeaways. The one takeaway I got is 44,000 people have signed up so far on the website, and right now you don't need a code. You just go on howdymodi.org. 44,000 people have signed up. The capacity is 50,000. And Chandani, you asked him, once we hit 50,000, what did he say?
I think he said once I hit capacity. unless people don't show up or people kind of change their mind. I mean, that is what it is, because it's not really up to the stadium and their rules.
50,000.
Yeah.
50,000.
Because otherwise, for like fire hazards and stuff, they can't allow too many extra people.
Wow.
Right. So essentially, yeah, but we'll have a standby list, and we will be able to we'll be able to move people in, confirm people's admission as we find out people are unable to come and so on.
Rishi Bhutada, second generation, makes me proud. I want my son to grow up to be like you, Rishi. Really do.
Your son's a good kid. Your son's a good kid.
Yeah, you know him. Yeah, Sahil's been at the camp. He's a great kid. But I know that you make your father proud. You do, and you make our community proud. And it's not just this event. Rishi has been silently supporting everything Indian.
Oh.
Yeah, he has. And not a lot of people have heard about Rishi Bhutada. But he is what we want all Indian kids, boys and girls, to grow up to be. Perfect Indo-Americans. Love for India, love for this country, love for peace and progress, prosperity, and
Community.
and the community. So, Rishi, thank you for putting Houston on the map. Seriously, you and the entire Texas India Forum has put Houston on the map. And I just can't wait. I'm just so excited already.
Well, thank you for having me on, Sunil. I really appreciate getting the time here to talk about it and answering any questions that your listeners might have about the event. And
I would love to do this. I'd love to do this weekly, and there'll be more updates. And I'm sure once we hit our 50,000 number, there'll be way more questions about what do I do. And as the date nears, there'll be more things we can clarify as far as buses and food. And every time that I have Rishi on air, I'm also gonna sneak in, hey, what hotel is he staying at?
You sound like such a fanboy.
maybe I am a fan. I am the biggest fan of Narendra Modi. And maybe one time he will just kind of slip and say he's saying, oh, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to.
Maybe he can talk about it with you offline.
For the listener,
Yeah.
he said he just registered and immediately he got a confirmation that you registered. Is that all he need to get an entry?
So,
Print out of the
all
email?
right, somebody just called and said he registered, and right away he got a confirmation. What does he need for the entry?
so that is a confirmation saying we got his registration. That's not a confirmation that he has a pass yet. We will email those confirmations about August 25th. Is the current expected date to be able to email. You just can't get automatic entry into a stadium with the Prime Minister. There's got to be security checks and so on. So, so we will confirm on August 25th or thereabouts that they are going to receive a ticket and then receive a pass, and then those passes will be actually issued around September 15th via email.
Okay, so you can't tell me what hotel he's staying at. Can you tell me what airport he's landing at?
No, and I don't even know the answer to that question.
Okay, all right, fine. Lovely talking to you, Rishi. It's such a pleasure to have such an open discussion about all elements and all questions. And I'm asking you a lot of the questions that I'm getting asked, and we'll continue to do this weekly with the Texas India Forum. And just proud to host our Prime Minister September 22nd. Rishi Bhutada, thank you for your time and the service to our community.
All right. Thank you, Sunil.
Okay,
Thanks for having me on.
Sure.
Masala.